Ready, set, let's go. I'm on the way up. I'm on the way up. I'm on the way up, going all the way up. I'm on the way up.
Welcome to the Location Shots podcast. My name is Andrew. I'm here with Andrew and Andrew as usual. And this is going to be a fortnightly recap that we're going to be posting obviously once every fortnight. Pretty much a day in the life of what we do. We're going to chit-chat about what we do day in, day out, and I guess what trends and what things we're seeing as we go along. So, boys, welcome.
Thank you.
Podcast number 2 for us.
Good to be here.
It's like we never left.
The environment's a little different to the first podcast.
I know. I was going to say, it looks actually really nice.
Work in progress, not finished yet. Anyway, boys, how was the week? How was the fortnight? Obviously, it was a short week this week, but I guess, we were talking about this earlier, but we noticed that things are slowing down a little bit.
There's been a bit of especially this week. Last week I thought it was mostly because of the rain, because I think Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday was pretty busy last week, and then it sort of died down towards the last couple of days.
What would you say? What are you hearing? What are the clients telling us?
The main thing that I've noticed is that in both sales and rentals, there's not exactly concern, but one of our top sales agents says that they have nothing coming up or not a lot coming up compared to other times where they have a lot more properties in the works. And with rentals, the one thing that I've heard from everyone is that properties are not getting leased that easily anymore, especially the ones on the top end, which makes sense. I guess leasing out a property for $500 or $600 a week is still doable, but the ones that are more expensive, these are the more difficult ones. And I get like who can afford to pay $1,500 or $1,600 a week.
Yeah, it's a bit of a...
Do you have a guess on why that is?
Yeah, look, what do you mean in terms of the high end properties?
Just pretty much everything, because like all the rentals, all the sales, they're going down.
Well, with sales, I think
Let's preface, they're not going down. It's just getting quieter.
Yeah, it's getting
and
quieter.
it's winter. It's winter.
There could be, a lot of different reasons. I think with sales, a lot of people because with interest rates going up, less people are buying. And if everyone was to sort of panic sell, then the price would go down. It's not it's not necessarily a bad time to sell, but it's not the best time to sell right now. So if you can hold on to your property, you're probably better off doing that than selling later on. And with rentals, simple as I said before, if it's a very expensive rental property, who can afford it and still have a relatively good life? You know, if you have to pay $1,300-$1,400 a week on rent, even in a couple with dual income, there's not much left after that.
And then throw in the kids and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, forget about it.
Look, there's a lot of different... I mean, there's a property for everyone.
Yeah.
And those properties that are up there in the thousands a week. You also look at people that maybe travel during the winter months. They go Europe, so they don't want to move homes. They're holidaying and things like that. Everyone's got financial different positions. So I think winter has something to play. Not many people want to move around during winter.
Yeah. When I first started, and I heard some agents say, because it's winter, people don't want to move during the colder months. And I kind of kept that in the back of my mind. And every winter I've seen that trend. So I'm like, it might be true, So
potentially it could be, not that this is a real estate advice podcast, but maybe if you want to make a move, winter when it's a bit slower and there's, I wouldn't say a little bit more flexibility on the negotiating, maybe you can pick up a deal. But at the same time, there are still some of our clients that are telling us, and it's very geographical too, right? Because we shoot all over Sydney, and there's some agents that are telling us that they don't have any stock and they're leasing everything ASAP. So I think we're talking very generically here, but
yeah, it depends on
over
that
the
too,
board, across the board, I think it has slowed down a little bit. Speaking of winter and bad weather, we're still shooting. Obviously, none of us are going to. One of us are going to Europe. Andrew, you're taking off in a few weeks for 4 weeks.
I'll send you a very nice postcard. Yeah.
Please don't.
We don't want to hear about it.
Yeah.
I'll be doing stories and I never do, but this time I'll do it.
This is
be
the
doing
time of
stories
year that
every
I
day.
that I
and
sort
tagging
of,
location shots.
yeah. Now,
Just for us.
Location shots. We go everywhere.
So kind of you.
You know?
well, if there's any real estate photography work down there, we're down. And if they need us to come,
Oh, yeah,
are you free?
100%.
Of course, of course.
100%.
Actually,
We'll see if there's any time in our
I
schedule.
think I am.
Actually, so you have to think about it. So yeah, speaking of bad weather, the show goes on. We're still shooting. We've had a lot of conversations in the last few weeks with clients. Obviously, some that really want to get properties on the market, and have this sense of urgency. But the weather's been a bit of a shitty indicator, right? So, what do we do there, man? Like, we're good, but we're not that good, right? We can't stop the rain, but it's been a challenge. It's been challenging, especially last week, and we'll get into what we did when it was raining later on. But the hardest thing is to try and manage to
And guess what the weather will be?
And the forecast has been so wrong,
Yeah.
and so off lately that you can't pick it. And days that you thought it's a write-off, tomorrow's going to be raining all day, you wake up to sunshine.
Yeah, it's pretty hot as well. It's like, oh, wow.
Yeah, go figure. And that's when the phone runs red hot. But we still can shoot. And for obviously anyone watching or listening, we still can shoot if the weather is not great. We can still do internals. We can still do videos inside. I mean, the downside is that we can't do any externals when it's raining.
Because we can add like blue skies to the photos afterwards. We can make it look like it's a nice sunny day.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's not really a problem. So
The only catch is wet driveways.
you'll see the raindrops.
Yeah, water residue on the windows is something that we can't Photoshop out. Obviously, look, we can do quite a bit. We can definitely change up the scenery to make it look like it's a nice day. As we said, anything that's wet, it's very hard to dry. It hasn't gone that advanced with.
That's why I have a hairdryer in the back seat 4 times.
I've seen you a few times up and down the driveway. Yeah, look, we can't just say we can't do it. We're still rolling, and we're just doing the best we can for the clients, to accommodate.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
There's only so much you can do when it's raining. Speaking of raining, that's obviously, for us, that's downtime. So we had a brief chat about this during the week, but, what are because I think 3 of us work differently as far as how we navigate the downtime. I always seem to think that there's always something to do, but really, if you're not out there doing what you do, like what we love to do,
then we're just putting energy in the wrong place.
How do you guys feel about that during downtime?
I think it's good to have a break because you always want to come back 100%. You don't want to feel like you're overworked, especially if you know that what you're doing is maybe for nothing and it's just for, just to do something. Because then when you do that, like, you can give back 100% to everything else type thing. And I think downtime, you don't want to take advantage of it either. Like, you don't want to just do nothing all day just because like there's nothing to do. You still want to be proactive and find things to do, no matter what that is. Maybe like getting some BTS content or just practicing something, doing something for the business that is going to profit it, or just anything like that. But I think it's a good time to look for, or even just self-reflect on like how, if you're doing something slow during work, maybe it's a good way to just figure something out. But there's always something like to do for yourself during downtime.
How about you?
I agree with that. It's all about finding a balance. And sometimes if you have 1 or 2 days that are not very busy and the days before are busy and for sure that the next days are going to be busy, it's not bad to take that time to just say, you know what, I'm going to have a bit of a slow day today. It becomes a bit more difficult when it's 3 or 4 days straight, or if you even have a couple of weeks that are, not very busy. Because even for us, like, it's not like we're like, oh, I don't give a shit, like getting paid either way. It feels bad not to work, not to.
Yeah, you feel guilty a bit.
Yeah, you do, 100%, because you know that it affects the business big time. So it's it's all about finding that balance and looking for things that you can do when it rains, because that's the other thing. If you have a bit of downtime simply because, maybe you had a couple of days that are not very busy, but the weather is good, you can go out and get stock footage. You can do stuff like that. When it's raining, then you're not going to do stock footage in the rain. So you can't do much about that. I think that's when you find the time to, like, you look at the workflow, you look at how things are streamlined and everything, you go, what can we improve? I've had days that I pretty much spend like a couple of hours on my camera looking for different ways to shoot. And other time, for me, it's like, I'm just playing with my camera, but I'm not, because I'm looking for ways to make things better or more efficient or stuff like that. It can be the same with the editing, with the storage routine, stuff like that you can then take and use on a daily basis once the work picks up again.
Yeah, look, it's very true. It's very true. There's always time to sharpen your skills.
And I guess it's different for you because you're running the business at the same time. So there's so much back end work to do. So even when you have down, you can do that. You can.
I can honestly say that I don't think I ever have nothing to do.
Yeah.
I probably have been a culprit of always wanting to maximize every minute of the day, whether it's for me or for you guys. I have, I found a few different approaches, and like with feedback, even from you guys as well, has been great. Because ultimately, you don't want to be. You said before, I heard you say, you don't want to just be doing things just for the sake of doing it. Like you want to do things that actually are that are moving the needle. And for me, I look at it. You think of the financials. You're like, okay, fuck, this is a lean week. We're going to make the budget. But I'm very fortunate to say we haven't had weeks upon weeks.
No, it's not been.
We had one. It's like 3 days max, I'd say.
Yeah.
Which has been lucky.
Super fortunate and super grateful that we have clients that are giving us work, and we're growing. We're definitely growing. This year has been a massive year of expansion. I think we said that at the end of last year that 2024 is going to be a year of growth and expansion, and we've definitely done that, and there's still more to come.
It's only half a year.
Yeah. Actually, in the next podcast, I'm going to have some stats of how many photos and videos and floor plans and that we've done this year, because I think we're on.
Yeah.
I think we've been going really well. I'll have those stats, and it'll be interesting. I'll even see how many we've all done amongst ourselves. We can have a bit of a comparison to see. A few other little things we're going to do in these conversations will be even things about like how many Ks did you drive this week, and how many properties did you shoot, how many photos and stuff like that you're pumping out. It's good for people to know what we do, and can be glamorous some days, and it can be not so glamorous on other days. Let's talk about that, right? So let's talk about it. Some of the stuff that we see.
Yeah,
we'll briefly touch on. So recently, one of our clients sold a property, which actually is I'm pretty sure is in our time the most expensive property that we've sold, that we've been a part of shooting for the marketing, and sold for, don't quote me 100%, but it was in the 13.4 million. So that was a great achievement. Not that we did the work, but still, it was our contribution. So I'm super proud of us for creating that. We did some pretty cracker stuff there.
We even got half a page in the newspaper for that.
Half page write up. It was on the domain and stuff like that. So that was pretty cool to see.
That was pretty good. Yeah.
And well done to Mario and the team, who got a cracker result. That was it was an awesome house to shoot. Like I went 2 or 3 times to shoot dusk and stuff like that. You guys went and did photos and video. Pretty amazing house, I got to say.
That front yard was crazy.
You can live in just the front yard.
Yeah, and I think it was just bigger than my house.
Yeah, what I might do, I might actually put some B-roll of the video over this video.
Oh yeah,
just so people can actually see what we're talking about, because it's a bit weird if they have no idea what we're talking about. But that was a cracker house, man, and that's by far the most expensive. I think the next most expensive house that we have shot was about 9 million. Actually, again, it was with Mario. He's killing it.
Who is
Good
this
on
guy?
him. Yeah, so that's pretty up there. So it's a cool little achievement and a little win for us because we had the opportunity to shoot that, and I think we executed. If we can keep our modesty about us, but I think we nailed it on that one.
No, I am grateful to shoot those top of the end places. It does feel good. Honestly, it feels like to me, it's like, wow, it's like I kind of deserve to be shooting this because I feel like I've been working so hard to.
I thought you were going to say I deserve a bit of the commission.
Or that too.
I mean,
Should we
why
change
not?
our property
Why not?
pricing structure? Just say, look,
That's what I've been saying for the last 5 years.
you have. Oh, that's fucking hilarious.
Could probably do that. Yeah.
Imagine how cool would that be? Look, just give us
Is
1%
it-
off whatever you sold it for. You know, off your commission. Who
We're doing
knows?
the eyeballs.
That could be our new negotiating tactic. I doubt it. Going from a high like that to, and let's be real, okay, we're not a $1 million listing TV show where all they show is the most amazing properties. We shoot like shitholes,
Everything.
right?
Yeah.
We do not, we
At
don't
times,
always
yeah.
shoot glamorous $13 million properties. And the reality is that, most days we're in the weeds and we're moving people's belongings left and right to get, to be able to get, a handful of decent shots in properties. And it's not just tenanted properties. I'm sure you'll agree. It's even owner occupied properties that we still have to clean up clean up for.
Yeah, we've got removalists on our job description.
We have to add that. Yeah. Stylists, we're not going to take their job, but still moving underwear and moving laundry baskets and toothbrushes and all.
Sometimes that takes longer than taking the photo.
It's,
So
Actually, that's very
I think
much
it does.
the case. Yeah.
I think it does.
most of the time, yeah.
With rentals, mate, the first thing I always ask is it vacant? Is if they say yes, I'm like, perfect.
Yeah.
We're
What a
going to be
day.
out of here in less than 10.
Favorite
Yeah.
day
You know?
already.
And that's actually something that we'll be doing.
Yeah.
Hopefully before you leave, we want to shoot a video just to show people if a place is vacant, how quick we can
Yeah.
actually be in and out. And it's not a case of rushing it or
No,
doing it
you're
quickly.
still doing everything. Like you'll do the lights, do the blinds, see if you need to move, because you still might need to move something. We do all of that. But it's one thing to move one or two small things in an empty property, and another thing to have to move a lot of things. Like even a tidy place has a lot of stuff to move.
Yeah.
You know, you have like you're doing the kitchen,
Because
maybe
maybe
you
the
need to move-
dining table's in the wrong spot. Just,
Oh,
Yeah.
mate, like things like tea towels, dish racks. Even if it's tidy, you still need to move all of that. Hide a couple
Hand
of
soaps.
cables. Yeah.
It's true. It's true. We'll do something about that because that'll be good to just time how quick we can get in and out of properties. I haven't timed myself, but there have been cases where I've been in and out of a property in under 10 minutes.
give yourself a high five.
Pat on the back. And that's, look, it comes through experience and we know what we do, man. We know what we do. We'll make
Oh, yeah.
life a lot easier for clients. You know what I mean? That's what we're there for. Ultimately, we are. That's what we're there for, to make their life easier. An example of some of the, more recently, some of the tougher properties we've shot, we went and shot a place that recently in
Marrickville
Marrickville.
one. Yeah.
That was...
A knockdown, you can say. It's fine.
Yeah, knockdown / like bring in every chemical you can to clean it out. It was almost like a hoarder's house that had been tidied up,
Sort of.
sort of. And they ripped the carpets up and painted it because it stunk, just to be able to have people walk through the property.
Oh, wow.
That was a challenging one, not because it was hard to shoot, but it was. Well, actually, it semi-was. Like that kitchen
Yeah.
you couldn't even see the bench top. There was stuff everywhere. And, that's our challenge.
I actually find that these are the most difficult ones are for me at least, the ones that are sort of shitty but not too shitty. So you make the
'Cause you
effort to
get
try to make it
creative.
look better.
Yeah.
That was so bad. I didn't take the photos. You took the photos. So I'm not sure what you did. But for me, that sort of property, I wouldn't bother moving anything. Like,
No.
it is what it is, you know?
Yeah, even the agent, and that's good. His
Yeah.
expectation was like, just get whatever you can. In fact, that kitchen shot, I said we should get it because it just shows, the ceiling is
What it
falling
could be.
apart. Yeah. And I even actually on that day, I said to him, people love the fixer-uppers. People love this kind of, it's all dilapidated. I can,
Because buying a
everyone-
home isn't just to live in. It's also, people look at it as projects. And
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
100%, yeah.
And if anyone,
And if you can save a bit of money and do yourself, and the upside, I guess, is that if you have the money and the patience, you can rebuild it up to your spec.
Yeah.
So
You got to be the right kind of person, not
Exactly,
someone who
yeah,
got
yeah.
influenced by watching the block for a few years and all of a sudden feels like they can
no,
renovate.
you have to know what you're doing. But if you
Yeah.
know what you're doing and you have the time to do it,
And the vision. You need a vision.
and the vision, yeah.
You
It's
got to
like
know
the
what you're
hidden
gonna do.
gems. They know what they're looking for, and
Well, mate, I spoke to the agent just the other day, yesterday, in fact, and he's had, and that was like a week ago, he has had over 30 inquiries, genuinely interested, and potentially maybe even someone wanting to put an offer before auction
I'm not surprised.
because they've gone gang. But he's like, I cannot believe the interest I've had because everyone wants to just get in there and just make it.
was
like,
it
make
from
their-
that kitchen photo?
Yeah, it was one of them.
It was
one
very
of them.
bad.
From a,
I
from a-
didn't touch it. I was
yeah.
doing the floor plan and I didn't
Mate, there was
touch
a
anything.
dumped car in the front parking.
Oh wow!
Yeah, but you know
You
what?
couldn't walk in the backyard. You literally could not walk in the
Yeah.
backyard. There was so much stuff. It was crazy.
I knew taking the photos that this will hit because people just love to see the before and want to make, be able to create the after.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, no, look, good luck, good luck. I'm sure he's going to sell. I'm pretty sure he'll sell it before auction, the amount of people that he's got. So good on him. And in this, I'd say even with auctions now, clearances and stuff like that, there are a lot of people that are selling prior to auction. I think we touched on this last time, but one of our other clients had auction night for 10 auctions, and I think was it 4 or 5?
Four. Yeah,
four that sold prior to auction. Yeah, you want to get the deal done nice and quick.
Would you say buying before an auction is easier? Would that like be a preference if you had the choice, or
Okay, let me preface by saying I'm not a real estate professional.
no?
Are you asking me from a buyer's perspective?
Yeah, from a buyer's.
So when you buy before auction, there is a little bit more of a control that you have in the price you're going to pay. In saying that, when you're going to offer something before auction, it has to be attractive for the owner to want to take it and not run the auction.
Okay, yeah.
So it's a bit of a double-edged sword. But if there is no one interested,
So
and
because you're playing safe, you got to offer a bit more.
well, just like anything that if someone wants something now, they're always prepared to pay more. And that's the general psychology. However, if there's not a lot of people coming forward with interest, that might influence an agent to say, put an offer in early, because they obviously don't want to go to auction and fail.
Yeah.
So if they can stitch someone up, not stitch, but hard word, if they can line someone up to want to buy it before auction, then it's a win-win for both. The vendor knows that the property is sold,
Yeah.
and most 9 times out of 10, and in one of the podcasts that I've shot and we're going to be posting shortly with Peter from Property Exchange, she's a conveyancer. We talk about selling at auction conditions. So you still have to sign the contract, even if it's prior to auction, under auction conditions, which means there is no cooling off. So you don't get that 5-day cooling off period. You have to go in with what they call a 66W certificate, which is you waive your 5-day cooling off, and it's like bang. The second you sign, the owner sign, 6 weeks later it's yours, because there's no chance of anyone pulling out.
Yeah. Okay.
So
So it's all like you just have to read the room. It all depends on
I think
the property type thing.
I think it's just about communication. I think it's about talking to the agent, showing your interest, and just being really like, look, will the owner accept something sooner? Where do we need to be? And if it's in the price range and that you are prepared to pay, well, then go for it.
Yeah.
If you're going to play those games of,
Maybe I'm interested. Maybe it depends
yeah,
on the
I
price,
don't know,
this and that. They'll just go to auction.
the auction, the agent says, they want like 1.7. And you're like, oh, well, I'll give them 1.5. If you're playing those kind of games, you're probably going to go, look, just come to the auction.
Yeah.
And they'll call
Yeah,
your
that's
bluff.
fair enough. Yeah, yeah.
But at the auction, that 1.5 that you were throwing, you might have to pay 1.9. But that opportunity that they gave you to pay at 1.7, you passed up on, and now you're paid 1.9 because someone else is competing with you. So you're eliminating the competition or that that intense auction day by negotiating prior.
Yeah.
So, yeah, if you can, and it falls within your budget, and you're happy to pay what what you've offered, 100%, I would highly recommend you go in before.
Yeah.
Because it eliminates that pressure, that anxiety. Like, I mean, we've shot auctions. You see how people are, man.
Oh, yeah.
You're a
And
bundle of nerves.
And I'm sure that people do tend to overpay when under pressure, when
Yeah.
under serious pressure. It's like it's now or never.
Because
You
it's
have to decide.
emotion.
And when you got like that time factor as well, it's like, so you're gonna bid, because if you don't bid, I'm gonna
Yeah,
sell.
once,
And it's like,
twice, 3 times. And the auctioneer knows how to play the game.
Yeah.
So
Oh yeah.
you're highly stressed, you're highly emotional. And keep in mind, you're very invested, because by that point, and we touched on this before,
seen it
you've
so many
seen
times.
it a couple of times. You've shown your friends. You've spoken, whether you're buying it for yourself or with family. You've already envisioned where you're going to put your furniture. You've done your checks. Your solicitor's ready to go. You've got your check, or you've got your not check, but you've got your money ready to go.
You just
Like,
got
you
more
are
to lose,
invested.
pretty much. Yeah.
So you're either going to go home that day knowing that you've bought a property, or you're going to go home and go, "Fuck, I've got to start looking for another property,"
Yeah.
and starting that whole thing again. And that can be very taxing for someone who's very invested.
Especially if they're
that
like 5 houses in already. It's like, oh, another
Yeah,
one.
yeah. Look, I have been to auctions where one guy has just done the first bid and blown everybody out of the water, and it was years ago. But houses at the time were going for like 850, 880, and this guy just showed up to the auction. I actually didn't meet. I met him that day, and we're still friends to
Yeah.
this day. And he just went $1 million. Everyone said, "What? I thought, who is this bloke?" 1 million, once, twice sold, 3 times sold. And everyone's like, "What the? Why would he pay $1 million when he's?" Because he had gone to 6 auctions. His wife had had pretty much gotten anxiety every single time. And
He's like, I'm over it.
was a mess. They had missed out on so many properties. They found that one that they wanted, and they're like, "I'm going to renovate it anyway. If it's that extra $100,000 I got to pay, well, I'm going to pay it, because this is my forever home. This is the house that I'm going to raise my kids
It's
in."
going to go up in value. It's going to appreciate in value in the future anyway. So it's
And he didn't want to fluff around and start with 800 and then slowly work up. And it may have even gotten to 1 million. But at the end of the day, he hit that 1 million, very ballsy. He had the money, bang, got it done. And, like I said, and that day I even went up to him. I'm like,
Jeez.
well, wow. I said, "What made you do that?" And that's when he told me the story that he had missed out on 6.
what
And it
was the
was-
property?
Beverly Park. And he was just done. And now he's renovated it, beautiful home, 2 kids, like that's
Yeah.
their forever home, happy days. But you know what? You put your balls on the line, and if it's what you want, I'm a firm believer in there's no right or wrong time to buy. It's when you can afford to and when you want to. This whole thing of I'm going to wait because things are going to get better or worse. No one's got a crystal ball. Yes, you can see a few trends and stuff like that, but I don't think there's enough information out there to guarantee you that you're going to get a better deal today than tomorrow.
Especially if you're buying for the long term too. Like if you're buying a
Absolutely.
property that you want to flip in a couple of years or whatever,
You're
maybe
strategic. But there's no emotion.
yeah, exactly.
There's no emotion in that.
But if you're buying a property to live in and you want to stay there for the next 20 years, it's only going to go up. Like
Yeah,
it doesn't really
very true.
matter.
And it doesn't matter if it doesn't.
And if it does go down, you can't really know. So it doesn't really make a difference. The question is, as you said, whether you can afford it and whether it fits your lifestyle or whatever it is.
Yeah, that's it. Well, we said we're going to keep these podcasts short so we can get them out every fortnight. Before we go, we were talking about downtime and the rain. So one thing we did, and for anyone that follows us on Insta or socials, had seen the video that we put up about our favourite restaurant. AT over here said that Thai place in Glebe.
Yep.
Well, I'd like to let everybody know that we did go to that Thai place in Glebe. It was last week when it was pouring rain. We decided to head out and go, and I've got to say thank you.
He's not lying.
It's a great place.
He's not lying. What is it? Tom Yum.
He still doesn't know.
He still doesn't know.
No.
Doesn't matter. It's that Thai place.
It's
in
next
Glebe.
door pub.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just punch in. Actually, I punched in just
That
typed
Thai
in-
place.
No, Thai place Glebe, and it pops up. So maybe they should rename it.
It's probably the best one there. So
I've got to say, I love Thai food, and that felt like I was in Thailand.
it
Like,
was amazing. Yeah.
You sit on the stainless steel tables.
yeah.
The kitchen was
Open kitchen.
open
yeah.
kitchen. You see them cooking.
Noisy.
They don't even speak
as can be,
English.
yeah.
Yeah,
It's
no,
great.
No, honestly, I've got to say, it felt like you were in a food court, in a different.
They just needed like the different coloured stools, and then that would have set it off.
and the
there.
different coloured plastic cups.
And the
that they
different
have.
color. Oh, wow.
Hey, that struck a chord. Yeah, so highly recommend. Not that this is a food blog series, but highly recommend. And we're definitely going to go
what's
there
the
again.
problem now? We went there without Kathy.
Oh, we have to go again.
I'm sorry, Kathy. Yeah,
She'll never forgive you.
actually, she did. I think she commented on the story we put up about that.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken. But nonetheless, we'll make sure Kathy comes with us, aka Andrea, because we said we're going
Oh, yeah.
to call her one of the Andrews.
Close enough.
So yeah, and to wrap up, I'll ask you guys probably what your favorite job or favorite property that you have shot, floor planned, videoed, or anything else. Not even real estate. Any other content we've done in the last couple of weeks. What would you say is your favorite? I've got one that stands out, but
I did it was like a boarding house, and it was really tiny. It was like a big contrast from that $13 million property. I'd say it was like maybe five by 5. You could touch each wall. Like if you sit on the bed, you could touch each wall. You could make a sandwich on your bed. It was crazy.
where was that?
Peacham.
Petersham. There you go. Oh yes,
Yeah.
yeah, that was small. Lucky. Thank God for wide angle.
I was probably, my first instinct was to mention the one that we shot in Stratfield. I'll leave that for you. I'm not sure if the last one was in the last couple of weeks, but since this is the first time we're mentioning this, it's fine. We've been shooting these Wilson storage places. And
yeah.
we've been doing dusk and drone shots and all of that of these places as well. And it's been quite fascinating, actually, especially doing the dusk shots of, because the commercial spaces,
Yeah.
technically there shouldn't be anything special about them, but the photos that I've been able to get out of them are amazing, you know?
It was
Especially the dusk ones.
it was a really good a good opportunity.
to do something different. And it's strangely fulfilling. Like I had plans one of these days, and I went to my friend straight after, and they go, "What'd you do?" I go, "I was shooting photos of a storage place." And they go, "Oh yeah, pretty boring." And then I showed them the front photo the camera one, not even the drone one, because I couldn't fly the drone there. The quick edit that I sent to you guys, and I showed it to them. They go, "No way." I go, "That was actually like one of the best shoots that I've done in quite some time."
That's awesome.
Which is just different, you know?
It was a great opportunity. It kicked off through a network of people. We shot a property that they had recently bought. From there, they asked you can get a few more shots, and then we're doing this other building. They ended up being developers, and then from one little job to another little job, and all of a sudden they sent us all around Sydney doing shoots of their storage facilities. In fact, we're doing some more as well. Recently they reached out again, and they said, we want something different. That's how the conversation started. And you're like you said, it's a commercial space. How different can you be? And I said, look,
Pretty fucking different.
Yeah, absolutely.
Did they have the vision of the different, or did you have to pitch?
So initially he said to me, how can you shoot the property differently? And I said, I mean, we can do ground shots or we can do some aerial shots. I said, but they're all on arterial
initially I went
roads.
for the first one in Homebush.
That's right.
And I remember saying, I go, why are we not doing drone shots for this?
And they said no.
doing
They were very
ground shots.
anti-no. And I said, why would you not get a different perspective?
And then we did drone dusk, and it was amazing. It was, again, I did a slow shutter so you could see a bit of a blur on the cars
light
driving
trails,
by.
yeah.
It was amazing. Yeah, it was,
I'll put some photos up so people can see too.
Yeah.
But it was a case of aerial shots. That's how it started. And then he said, I like when residential properties you can see the lights on inside. And I'm like, do you have lights on? He's like, oh, not really. I said, do you have exterior lights on? He's like, yeah.
the signs were great.
And that's when it clicked. And I'm like,
dusk. Yeah.
why not? I mean, these are all arterial roads. This one, the one in Homebush was on Parramatta Road, right close onto the M4. So I'm like, imagine getting it up high.
Yeah.
Being able to get traffic flow, and they turned out
Yeah,
cracker.
and it's not just because you get in purple sky, you can see the lights.
Yeah,
It's
red-
Wilson storage, so
red
you're
trail
getting
lights of the cars.
you're getting yellow and red, which pops very nicely in the photos. So it was actually amazing. Yeah.
There you go. There you go. Something unique. You're right. I was going to say about the one we did in Strathfield recently, a little bit of fun. I mean, I know it's been done heaps of times. It was pretty cool that, the owner had a friend that had a Ferrari. So he came in and we did the whole drive-in, which is cool. I think it'd be funny to do it in a just the complete opposite one day and just have
Oh,
like
yeah.
this $200 shitter that drives into this multi-million-dollar house. But anyway, that's for another day. But we've seen it obviously all done before, but it was a nice touch to a really nice house, and it was cool to be able to fly the drone through there. So
Yeah.
obviously the floor plan allowed for us to have open areas upstairs and downstairs. So we were flying through the property and getting some pretty cool shots. And we're not trying to reinvent the wheel, but we always want to try and keep a fresh approach of how we shoot things. Stock standard is good, but the only way you can improve your skill set is if you do something different and try and innovate, try and evolve.
Even if it's like that one shot that is like, oh wow, and then they rewind, see it again. It's like, oh, I like that. So,
that's all it is, man. That's all it is. Cool. Well, we can talk forever, but we've got to wrap it up.
Yep.
So thanks, boys. We're going to do this every 2 weeks. If there's, we're on our Instagram and YouTube, so make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel, and we'll be pouring these out every 2 weeks, hopefully with some more fun and exciting news. There's a few new things that we're bringing to the team, so we'll share all of that in the next few episodes. But other than that, thanks, boys, and let's get back to work.
thank you.
I'm on the way up.